Hey guys, welcome to the Touchdown Table. I'm Ryan, that's Tyler, that's Jordan. Week 3 is in the books, now it's on to week 4. Let's make our picks. Jordan, get us started.
Yep, as usual, we start off the week with our predictions for week 4. So we start with the Thursday night game, Eagles at Packers. So this should be a fun game. Packers have been looking good. Their defense has looked a lot better. Their offense has been, they've had very fast starts and they've slowed down. And then the Eagles, their first half has not been too great sometimes, and they did end up losing this week to the Lions. So I'm going to say that the Packers have been too hot, and although both teams are both good, it's going to be a close one in Green Bay, 31-27 Packers.
Yeah, you said it, Jordan. The Packers are looking really good right now. They are playing consistently well. The Eagles, however, are not. They have failed to show me that they can put a whole good game together. Even in their one win this year, they had a very bad first half. And these past 2 games, they just haven't been able to put it all together. Give me Green Bay 31-24.
I think this will be very interesting. It's a team that's starting to come on the rise against a team that's starting to come on decline. But I'm going to pick the Packers in this one. It's going to be a good game. Not a close game, but I'm saying 30-17 in favor of the Packers.
Well, I'm surprised you don't have it close there.
Yeah. Next game now, Titans at Falcons. The Falcons, well, they've been struggling a lot more than we all anticipated them to be, and the Titans, well, they're the Titans.
It's beat the Browns week 1, though.
You're right, they did do that. It's in Atlanta, so I'm going to be choosing the Falcons 24-20.
Yeah, Atlanta really didn't look good in Indianapolis. I mean, I felt like there were times where they seemed to have rhythm, but just when they had rhythm, there was a penalty or a bad play, and they really couldn't contain Jacoby Brissett. But, I think Tennessee is a team that Atlanta could beat, especially at home. I think the Falcons bounce back in a really big way and take this one 38-13.
I'm with you guys. I got Falcons in this one, 28-21. Next game is the Redskins at the Giants. Giants playing Daniel Jones this week. He played pretty well. We'll talk about that in our next video that comes out, so I'm not going to go over all that right now. But the Giants look like a better team than they have been. Of course, Saquon Barkley, he did get injured, so he most likely will not be playing in this game, which sucks for me because I picked him first overall in fantasy, and my struggles continue. But I'm doing pretty good so far. But
Should have picked McCaffrey.
Yeah, I really should have.
He wanted to, he just couldn't do it.
So, Redskins at Giants. Both teams are looking good. Redskins have not played by the time we're making this video yet. I'm going to give this one to Daniel Jones to the Giants. If you remember, bold predictions, I have them going 8-8 or higher. Which
He really thinks that. He really thinks that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
27-21.
He didn't just
Giants.
make that up.
Yeah. Bold for a reason. Well, I know everyone in New York is probably waiting for Canton to start making that Hall of Fame bus for Daniel Jones, but slow your horses. Daniel Jones, a great
Slow
game.
your horses, guys.
Slow down.
Slow those
Daniel
horses
Jones,
down.
a great game, absolutely. Kudos to him and that Giants team. But we got to remember here that it is one game, and I mean, I guess Daniel Jones has done everything he could, but I think really the Giants are going to come back to earth down here. I think the Redskins' defense is underrated. You got Landon Collins going against his former team, so he knows a lot of tendencies on their offense. So I think it's going to be... I don't think Daniel Jones is necessarily going to do terrible, but I just think the Redskins are, in fact, the better team here, so I got Washington winning at 27-19.
I'm going to keep it simple. The Giants have momentum. They just won this one. They're feeling high, and it's just going to get even better from there. It should be a close one. Obviously, a divisional matchup. Those are always good games. But I'm picking the Giants with a score of 28-21. Next game now, the Chargers at the Dolphins. The Dolphins didn't struggle as much as I expected.
What was it, 10-6 at halftime?
Yeah,
And they could have scored a touchdown.
Yeah,
there.
that was...
Kenyon Drake fumbled there.
Yeah. It was very interesting. But they looked better with Josh Rosen starting in that game. But I mean, I'm gonna pick the Chargers.
Fitzpatrick
anyways.
played a little bit too.
Yeah, he did. He played a little.
Yeah, he did. But I'm picking the Chargers, as I said. It's not gonna be too close of a game. 26-10 in favor of the Chargers.
Yeah, the Chargers, they're coming off 2 straight losses, and I am a little concerned with their offense because I feel like they're starting to become a little one-trick pony, and that one trick being Rivers to Allen, Austin Eckler, Mike Williams. They didn't really have as much as an impact as I'm sure Anthony Lynn and that Chargers coaching staff would have liked. So I am concerned about that, but ultimately the Dolphins rebuilding, not playing well. But remember, sometimes when these Pacific teams fly all the way across country, there's a factor, especially with, the whole time zone thing, but ultimately the Chargers are just too good. But I think it will be respectable. Chargers win it 23-16.
I'm with you guys, not going to overanalyze it here. Charger 31 to 14. I almost messed up.
He's not going to overanalyze if it'll mess up the score.
Yeah, exactly. Next game is Raiders at Colts. And, I mean, there's really not much to talk about. You kind of literally just talked about the Colts. The Raiders, they're kind of what we expected after losing Antonio Brown. They've been doing a little bit better, so it's going to be interesting to see what they can do. They did recently lose to the Vikings in this week, but the Colts have looked pretty decent without Andrew Luck. They still got a decent team. The Colts are going to take this one 30-20.
Yeah, the Colts, I got to give them credit. They just flat out beat the Atlanta Falcons. And, I mean...
Flat out.
Yeah, they did, fair and square. And I think that they deserve a lot of credit for that. And they're proving that this season's not just going to be a wash because of the whole Andrew Luck thing that went down 2 weeks before the season. So I think the Colts get to 3-1 here and beat Oakland 28-20.
I think both these teams are a bit underrated. I'm going to be honest here. I said it before the season a lot. I said when Andrew Luck was still, and I said the Colts are going to win the Super Bowl. I'm obviously not going to say that anymore, but I think this Colts team still has the potential to be a great team. And so does this Raiders team. But it's in Indianapolis. The Colts had a good game last week. I'm going to pick them again with a score of 32-24. All right. Now we're moving on to the next game. That one's going to be Panthers at Texans. Now the Texans, I'm sure Ryan will talk about the game. Another close one against the Chargers. The Panthers have seemed to struggle, but this week they did good. They had Kyle Allen come in and he made some. That's his name, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Making sure that was his name. I thought I might have said the wrong thing, but he looked good. I mean, I don't know how long Cam Newton's going to be out for, but...
Well, they might be hoping he's out for longer.
Yeah. I mean, if they play like that, this could be an interesting game, but I think the Texans are going to be able to dominate this one, win with a score of 31-19.
Yeah, the Texans, 3 straight nail-biters to start the year. And, I think playing against New Orleans, Jacksonville, and Los Angeles Chargers, solid for them to get to 2-1. I feel like this game against the Chargers for them was their most complete game. Winning balance of offense and defense. The defense finally learned how to make a late stop. So, ultimately, Houston's defense is going to be too much for whoever's playing quarterback for the Panthers. The Texans are the better team regardless. At home, Texans take it 35-17.
I'm with you guys on this one. Texans 32-23. Next game is Chiefs at Lions. Chiefs are the Chiefs. Not going to overanalyze them. You know how good the Chiefs
He really
are.
does not want to overanalyze.
No, not today. The Lions, though, they've looked a lot better than people would originally think they would be. They're come out 2-0-1 with the tie against the Cardinals in Week 1.
Undefeated.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they are undefeated. So, Lions, I have not looked that bad. I mean, I guess that's all I could really say.
Yeah.
They haven't looked bad.
You're not wrong.
Yeah. So, even though they haven't looked bad, it's the Chiefs. I'm not gonna put up much of a fight, in my opinion. Chiefs take it away, 38-24.
Well, the Chiefs are the Chiefs, but really, look at what Patrick Mahomes did against that Baltimore defense. And Baltimore's defense is one of the better ones in the league. The Chiefs, I really think they're looking like a Super Bowl contender right now, and they're playing good football on both sides of the ball. They've done just about everything right, scoring a lot of points. So I think the Chiefs take it 41-27 over Detroit.
Well, I'm going to say it again. The Chiefs are the Chiefs.
Yeah, there you go.
As Ryan said, they're looking very good right now, but so are the Lions. I think the Lions are going to put up somewhat of a fight in this one. Chiefs ultimately win it, though, 31-21. All right.
Doesn't seem like a fight to me.
Well, it's closer than you would expect it to be. Anyways, next game, Browns at Ravens. Now, the Ravens, we saw they lost last week, but they were playing a good team in the Chiefs, and the Browns, interesting enough, we're doing this on a Sunday night because usually we do it on Monday night, but we don't have time because the Bears game is tomorrow, so we're doing it now. And yes, the Bears are very important. So we're doing it now. We don't know how the Browns are going to end up finishing today, but they're still a good team, and it doesn't matter what happened week 1, they're going to be a solid team. But the Ravens, they're going to come back home, in their home stadium, of course, and they're going to win this one with a score of 26-20.
Yeah, this should be a fun AFC North matchup here, but I feel like the Ravens, the game against the Chiefs was a reality check for them. I know people were talking like the sky's the limit for them after these first 2 weeks, but I really think that once the Ravens start to play some better teams, things are going to go south for them. I think Cleveland takes it 28-25.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm going to say something about the Ravens here right now. There was hype, obviously, on Lamar Jackson before going into this game, and I mean, I respect him. He's played better. He's looking a lot less like a running back at this
He has
point.
improved a lot.
He
But
has.
that
I'll
was
give
not
him
his
that.
greatest game there. He did get a lot of yards, but a lot of times he just either didn't keep his eyes downfield, threw random balls up that were luckily caught by players. So it wasn't his greatest game. Mark Ingram ended up scoring 3 times, which was pretty cool for me because I have him in fantasy. But I do think that the Ravens do keep on going on here with a score of 32-28 in a divisional game. Next one, Patriots at Bills. The Patriots have continued to just be the Patriots. They've been playing very well, beat the Jets in this week. So they've been playing well. And then the Bills, their defense has been playing well. Josh Allen's not been playing bad. John Brown. The Bills have not been awful. They're just kind of mediocre at this point to me. But they don't have a bad record. At least I don't think that. I think they're two.
No.
They're two.
Yeah, I don't think undefeated's that bad.
Are they undefeated? Okay,
Yeah.
that's what I thought.
Haven't played good teams, but they're
Yeah, that's true. 3-0. So, even though they are 3-0, it is the Patriots. Even though the Patriots are away, Patriots take it, in my opinion, 31-24.
Yeah, this should be a very interesting matchup. Obviously, Bills fans are very excited right now, as are the Patriots fans, as they're both of
Always
those
are.
teams. Yeah, always. Both of those teams have gotten off to great 3-0 starts. And I said it, I remember saying it before the season started. I remember saying that the AFC East opponents for New England aren't going to be, or at least 2 of them, aren't going to be easy walkovers. This division is going to be a little more competitive. Sorry, I kind of just dissed the Dolphins there. Sorry.
They've
But
been dissed all year. I'm sure they're used
yeah,
to
but it's okay. My point is that I think this Buffalo Bills team is good enough to earn a season split with the New England Patriots. So I think this game in Buffalo, I think Buffalo takes this one and takes the early lead in the AFC East. Buffalo wins it 30-23. I think Josh Allen has a big game.
Very
I can
interesting.
definitely see your point on that one. I feel like New England always goes into Buffalo and they struggle a little bit.
Yeah.
But this Patriots team just seems to be a little bit different than all the other Patriots teams that have already won championships. So I'm going to pick the Patriots here at 30-16. All right, next one now. Buccaneers at Rams. Once again, the Rams on Sunday Night Football. We'll see how they do as we're watching the game currently. But the Buccaneers, they lost a close one to the Giants last week. They fought as much as they could. Jameis Winston didn't look too bad in that game as well. But I'm going to say the Rams win it at home. How could they not? Final score, 28-17.
Yeah, the Rams, obviously, as you know, they're my Super Bowl pick. I'm very high on them. The Rams, they have a top 3 offense in the NFL, and to say this nicely, the Buccaneers don't. So I think the Rams light it up here. They win it 38-19.
Yeah, I'm with you guys. Once again, not going to overanalyze it.
We're just talking.
28-20 with the Rams. Next game is Seahawks at Cardinals. We all thought Kyler Murray was going to get his first win last week. He did not end up doing that. The Panthers shut him down there. So that was not good for Kyler Murray. And the Seahawks got shut down by a Drew Breesless Saints. So both teams really wanted wins this week. It is in Arizona, but I do think that the Seahawks are the better team at this point. It's going to be a close one. It should be a fun one, divisional game. 28-24, Seahawks.
I am very concerned about Seattle because I thought they could have and should have gotten a win at home in front of the 12s against Teddy Bridgewater. And it's like, okay, the score was very misleading. 'Cause you're going to look at the score and you're going to say, oh, yeah, that was a good game. But what was it? Was it 33-7 at some point, even in the fourth quarter? That is very, very concerning for Seattle, and especially that game being at home. So I really have my doubts about them now because it's one thing against a Drew Brees-led Saints, but it's one thing against Teddy Bridgewater. So I'm really concerned with Seattle, particularly their defense. Arizona takes this one 33-30, and this is the first win of the Cliff Kyler era in Arizona.
Well, I'm going to have to agree with you guys both on the terms of that this is going to be a close game. I'm going to agree with the Jordan on the winner here. I'm saying Seahawks win this one 32-31. Although they didn't play well last week, I think they're going to be able to bounce back. Kyler, just keep on going. You'll win eventually.
He didn't play his greatest game this week. But.
All right, next game now, Vikings at Bears. This one will be interesting. We're yet to see how the Bears are going to do in the game that is tomorrow for us right now. The Vikings, they looked good again. Of course, Delvin Cook has been doing some great things. Adam Thielen had a better game than he has in the past 2 weeks before. And their offense is clicking, their defense as well. But since this is at home for the Bears, I'm going to say that most likely they're going to split. I'm picking the Bears. This was a tough one for me to pick. I'm going to say it's a close one, 20-17.
Yeah, if you like defense, try to watch this game because we've got 2 top 5 defensive units in the NFL going at it. Honestly, if you told me the final score of this game was 6-3, I wouldn't be very surprised. But in all seriousness, I do think the Bears take this one at home 21-16.
Yeah, I'm with you guys. We'll be at that game. We're going to be excited. Shout out to our live studio audience who is also coming to that game with us. So, as they speak to me, and I try not to listen, I say the Bears are going to take this one at home 23-21. It's going to be a close one. Next game is Jaguars at Broncos. So what the Jaguars have been able to do has been pretty good with Gardner Minshew on Thursday Night Football. He looked pretty good. I don't think any of us here are going to overhype him just yet, but it is fun to see him play, especially you because he's in your division as a Texans fan. And the Broncos just haven't looked that hot so far. I'm going to give it to Gardner Minshew in this one. He is away, but he's going to want it 21-17. Jaguars take this one.
Yeah, I'll give Gardner Minshew a lot of credit. He certainly held his own. Getting that win against Tennessee was obviously huge for him and that team. But ultimately, you know, going on the road in Denver when it's still fairly warm out and you got the elevation, 'cause you got the heat and the elevation factor, that's tough for opposing teams who aren't used to that, and especially a young quarterback like Gardner. And then, of course, Von Miller, Bradley Chubb. I don't see Gardner Minshew producing enough to produce a Jaguars win. I got to give it to Denver. First win in the Vic Fangio era in Denver. Denver takes it 30-20.
Well, I just want to ask you something really quick. Are you concerned about Gardner Minshew at all? What is your level of concern?
I think he'll be able to keep the Jaguars respectable, but as far as...
He's kind of like a Dak Prescott at this point.
All
We
right.
don't know if he's going to beat both Dak Prescott numbers, but Tony Romo gets hurt, and then Dak Prescott comes in. He plays well. It's kind of
think they're going to offer him a $40 million extension. But anywho, to answer your question, as far as I think he can keep the Jaguars afloat, but do I see him leading the Jaguars to an AFC title or very close to it? No.
All right. I was just curious to say because he did look good in the game that he played in last week and against the Texans 2 weeks ago, although they lost. The Broncos, I do believe in their defense. I think their defense is going to pick it up a lot over the season. But I'm picking Gardner in this one. I'm saying the Jaguars win it on the road.
Jaguars, just Gardner.
Yeah.
The Jaguars win it on the road, 24-16. The Jacksonville Gardeners win this one.
Jacksonville Gardeners, wow.
All right.
I like Minshew's better, but
Whatever. Next game, Cowboys at Saints. Now the Saints came into Seattle last week and they made a statement. They said we don't need Drew Brees to win games like this. Now I think they're going to be able to do exactly that again. This is a reality check for the Cowboys. They have not played good opponents in the first 3 weeks. They're going to be playing a good team, even though Drew Brees is not there. It's in New Orleans. That crowd is going to be ready. Saints are going to win this one, 30-27.
Yeah, this was a very tough one for me to pick because I went back and forth thinking, well, the Cowboys are 3-0. Well, who have they played? Well, the Saints have Drew Brees. Well, they also just beat Seattle. So I am really torn, but I just cannot see Teddy Bridgewater doing this 2 weeks in a row. I got to give him a ton of credit, but just this Dallas team, they're off to a fast start. The offense is producing like crazy. Yes, they played Miami, but my point is Dak Prescott is looking good. Amari Cooper, the receivers. Even with Michael Gallup out, they still looked good. Ezekiel Elliott, you know about, but Tony Pollard had a solid game against Miami. I mean, he's not even the starting running back. So I just think Dallas has just a little too much talent for Teddy Bridgewater to keep up with. Dallas takes it 27-20.
you said you couldn't see those numbers being put up again. I say that Teddy Bridgewater will put up those numbers again. I honestly wasn't expecting anyone to pick the Saints with me, but you guys were both torn on it. Tyler ended up picking them. It is the Saints, and of course, Drew Brees is out, but the Saints have good weapons around them. They still got Mike Thomas, Alvin Kamara. Their defense isn't bad. Ted Ginn looked looked like he had good connections with Teddy Bridgewater in this past game. So it's going to be interesting to see what they could do. Cowboys have looked hot. It's going to be a fun one, just like it was fun last year. Was it a Thursday night game?
It might have been.
It was.
It might have been.
It was.
Yeah,
That's when Michael Irvin was going off.
Yes, they won.
So
I remember that.
it was at the
Yes.
Cowboys. I believe it was at Cowboys.
Yes,
that
it
game.
was.
It is at New Orleans.
Memories
For
are
this
coming
game,
back.
32-30, New Orleans gets the revenge. Sure. That's the Sunday night game. It should be fun to watch that one. Now we move on to our Monday night game, Bengals at Steelers. This is always a rivalry game.
Yep.
Von says perfect. It is not currently there right now, but that is someone who I don't know if it was a Sunday night game. I think was it a playoff game that happened?
Yeah, because then
It
the
was-
penalty set up a game-winning kick. for
So
Pittsburgh.
there's just a lot
Antonio
of
Brown's not there either.
yeah.
Yeah.
There's
So-
a lot of heat between
Neither
all
of
those
the two
players.
of them
They
are
all
there.
really don't like each other. It sometimes gets very scrappy between these two teams. So analyzing the teams now, Bengals, they've kind of looked like we expected them to. Honestly, Andy Dalton hasn't been playing too bad, so I'll give it to him. And then the Steelers, they lost their quarterback for the year, Ben Roethlisberger. Mason Rudolph hasn't looked bad, but it's going to be interesting to see what they can do. I do think that the Steelers still have weapons around them, and I do think they take this game at home, 28-17.
Yeah, I feel like the Steelers have just had the Bengals number for the most part in recent years. I feel like the Bengals have just always been this close to beating Pittsburgh, and then whether it was a late comeback, a penalty, a turnover. Pittsburgh just always had their number, and Pittsburgh, they not only did they play some tough opponents early, obviously, the New England game, and then obviously losing to San Francisco. Mason Rudolph, I think he's got promise, and I think Pittsburgh isn't as bad as the 0-3 record states, so I think Pittsburgh gets their first win of the year, and Mason Rudolph has a solid night. Pittsburgh 23, Bengals 13.
Yeah, I'm a believer in Mason Rudolph as well. I don't think he could. I'm not sure I would say he could be a franchise quarterback, but I think he could be a solid quarterback for this team and at least hold up for the Steelers while Ben Roethlisberger is out for the year. The Bengals, on the other hand, I have not seen enough from them. It's in Hines, so I'm going with the Steelers with the score of 23-17. All right, and that is our predictions for Week 4 of the NFL. It's crazy to think that we're already in Week 4 as we get our claps from the audience there. It's crazy. It's going by really fast, which is sad. But we're enjoying it so far. I hope you guys are too. Make sure to like this video. Comment down below what you guys think, if you agree or disagree. Did I say subscribe? I don't think I did. No. Make sure to subscribe. And also hit the bell next to the subscribe button. Very important thing to do, or else you're not going to get notified when we post videos.
And you want those notifications because we're great.
Yeah, exactly. Very great.
Especially him.
Appreciate it.
Oh, wow. All right. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you guys later.
See ya.